Your highs, your lows, your loves, your losses. This is your Soul Care Companion podcast, hosted by Marcus and Marion. Your Soul Care Companion podcast, the place where faith, passion, and determination create the greatest stories ever told.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of your Soul Care Companion podcast. I am Marcus.
I'm Marion Jamel.
What? Oh. And we got a guest today. Jamila. We welcome J Saleem. And what I was going to say is we're excited to be here.
Yes.
It's just, I don't know. I don't know. Something's about to happen.
Oh, absolutely. I've been saying that all week. Something, like, I can feel it. Like, something good. Like, you walking up onto something good. Yeah. I feel it.
Wait, what's that post that you posted earlier this week about something good is going to happen today?
Today. Yes.
Today. And I really think that when you posted that, it reminded me that we should live each day with the spirit of expectation.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep.
I agree.
So I'm inspired that something good is about to happen within the next 30, 40 minutes of this episode. We welcome J Saleem. She is not...
Hey.
Okay, she's not new.
No, She actually did the first episode that we had of the podcast. So we're glad to have her back. We're glad to have you back. Like talking about you like you ain't sitting right here.
What have you been up to?
You know what? I just been working, maintaining, enjoying.
Wait. You say you just been working?
Yeah.
Because that's different than from the first episode where you were in the first episode. Tell us what has happened between then and now, because so much has occurred.
Oh, absolutely. I think I wasn't working when I did that first episode.
You wasn't?
I wasn't. Mm-mm. So I've gotten a job, which is so necessary.
Oh, yeah. Ain't that the truth?
I think I've grown mentally.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've grown spiritually. I think I live life with expectations now. I think I'm more resilient now. I think I thought I have always been resilient, but I think over the last year, my skin has gotten quite thick, and I'm able to move through situations much differently than I was before. I'm not as reactive as I used to be. I'm a little more proactive, or I'm a little more, okay, this is what's going on. Figure out a plan. Deal with it.
And this is a great segue into the topic for tonight. And let me just say, before we spell it out to you why we chose this topic has been one that the church has been founded upon, one that the church has discussed and really instilled into those who attend church and those who believe in church.
Or any belief structure, for that matter.
Yeah, yeah. And what we're talking about today is faith.
Yep.
And I think there are a lot of different ways to look and believe in faith. So we've come here today to really sit back and unpack it and dispel how we view faith.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about you and where you were last year, how has faith played a role in your progress?
I think for me, for a long time, I looked at faith as something that some kind of you wait for a miracle to happen. You wait for things to transpire in your life. I think since the last time we talked and over time, I realized you've got everything you need within you. So get up and go do something about your situation, as opposed to just sitting back and waiting for something to happen. Now, miracles can happen. I'm not beyond that, but I think now I look at it like you got to get up and make this thing happen. You got to have faith in you, have faith in the God-given strength that you've got to get up and go out there and grab it.
Have faith in the process. Have faith in your participation in the process.
Absolutely.
I think one of the things that I hope that we do before the end of this episode is take this concept of faith that has just kind of seemed like it's, out there and add some skin and some bones to it and make it real. Something that is, able to be more, that's not just a concept and more of a principle that you can live by, that you, if you really think about it, you will see it in action in your everyday life. I was thinking as you were talking just now, Marcus, about faith. I remember when we went to Puerto Rico and we were on Vieques Island and we were walking. Our intention was to get to the black sand beach, right?
Right.
But in order to get there, we walked 2 miles on this road and we saw, all kind of beautiful homes and flowers and wildlife and all this stuff. And we walk in, we don't see no beach. I mean, we know a beach is on the other side, but it ain't the beach that we want to get to.
Yeah.
We just knew that we knew where the sign was.
And somebody told us.
And somebody told us this is where the sign was and go this way.
Right.
So we had to get up from the restaurant, walk 2 miles, and the 2 miles only took us to the sign.
Right.
And so the sign led us down a trail. Now it is a hot, sunny day, and the hot, sunny day leads us to a trail like you think about like Indiana Jones, like like
No, literally, it really frogs jumping.
I mean, lizard snake. You don't even know it was frogs, lizard snakes. All you did know is that you were going down this path, and it was covered like it's almost like a path cut through jungle, right? And you hear all kind of creatures,
sounds,
and in your mind you're thinking like, Lord, please don't let no snake come out. Please don't let no tropical bug just kill me on this path. And every once in a while, I mean, because we had never been on this path before, right? Every once in a while you would see a person, and I look at Marcus and be like, well, we see people with beach gear. I know we're going the right way.
Right.
But it's still dark and you don't know. And then you just keep walking, you keep moving forward, you keep walking, you keep moving forward. And then it came to a point where we heard waves.
Oh, yeah.
We still couldn't see the beach and it still was dark, but we heard a wave crash. And then we took a couple more steps and we smelled the water.
Ooh.
Still didn't see it, but we heard it, we smelled it, we could sense it was near. We didn't stop right there because we hadn't reached the beach. We kept walking. We heard it, we felt it. You feel it, you feel where I'm going. And then we turned around the bend. We were just that close. We turned around a bend and boom, the entire scenery changed. From dark jungle path to black sand and beautiful green and blue water.
Yes.
It was complete night and day.
So you saying that's faith?
That reminds me of, it really is a good example of faith when I really think about it, because the process, it'll mess your mind up.
Absolutely.
You get the most anxiety and your nerves get bad, your blood pressure go high because you in your mind, like, you be like, something told me to do this. But you don't understand how you don't see like how that one step is going to get you to where you go. Because we just want to go from, okay, Black Sand Beach, I want to go, to boom, you on the beach. We don't want to walk that 2 miles. We don't want to go down the dark path. We scared of the snakes and the frogs and everything else that could hurt us but didn't.
Right.
But it was necessary for us to get to where we were going. And to where we set out and intended to go.
Come on.
But in real life, when we take our real life, set our intention to our quote unquote, I did air quotes just now, y'all, Black Sand Beach, we don't want to go through the process. And the process, it's not that we don't have faith, we just don't want to go through the process that faith calls for. That in between time messes us up. And most times we get tired and we stop. And we want to be like, well, God never came through. Well, is that the truth? Or did you really go through the process?
Well, let's talk about that in between.
Yeah.
The in between time that you just referenced. Because for a lot of us, it's the unknown.
Yep.
What does that unknown feel like?
It's scary.
Scary.
It's very scary. It's just scary, period, because I think for me, because I like to have control of things so much, I don't like to not know where things are going.
Yep.
So when I'm knocked off the beaten path, and I get in a situation where, like, I don't know what's going on, I'm in a whirlwind, I get really nervous, really afraid. And then that's my faith challenge, to trust the process. But it's a very scary thing when you get caught up in that place there.
One thing I want to point out about that story is, remember how I said on the 2 mile path? Mm-hmm. We were walking, and instead of us thinking about, good Lord, this is 2 miles. Oh my God, it's hot. Oh my God. We were taking in every leg of that journey. Mm-hmm. We saw flowers that we had never seen. We saw trees that we had never seen. We saw wild horses that stood and posed for us as we took pictures of them that we had never seen.
We were being present.
We were being present. That's exactly what. We were being every single moment. I mean, we knew that Black Sand Beach is where we wanted to head to, but on our way there, we were taking in every single moment of it and learning to enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Instead of being so much focused on the destination.
I think that's where a lot of us we lose it, or we forget about today. We forget about the beauty of today, beauty of our present and being present. We spend so much time trying to get to point B, wondering when point B is going to happen, that we forget all about point A and what we were supposed to learn, what we were supposed to see, what we were supposed to taste, what we were supposed to feel in point A.
Man, we don't let fear and anxiety rob us of the joy of the journey. That's why I just got excited. We missed the joy of the journey.
Yeah, but see, that takes learning, though.
That does.
That takes when you. I know when we share stories about the faith that we had in our situations, people always go straight to the end. Well, this is what happened at the end. I got that blessing at the end. But there is an in between time, and I think with maturity, it comes to trust the process and enjoy the journey.
That's right.
But when you kind of young in your faith, or you hadn't made up in your mind, I'm gonna deal with this and go through it. It is difficult. It is hard to trust the process because you got real stuff going on in the process. It ain't always flowers and wild horses and beach sounds. You got real stuff going on in between.
You do got them snakes. And
you got real stuff happening in between.
You're listening to your Soul Care Companion podcast with Marcus and Marion. Join the conversation and follow right now at your Soul Care Community on Instagram and on Facebook for updates on upcoming events and a regular dose of wisdom, insight, and companion connections.
I think this is a really good time, if you guys will indulge me for a second, to let's be real with our audience and let's talk about what our in-between times have been like.
Okay.
Because you're right. And let me say this too, to you listening, that this is not just for people who go to church, but this is also for people who don't believe. This is a part of our humanity. So we all will have this in-between time. But see, the thing is, we never talk about it because it's typically not pretty.
It's not.
Jamila, what does your in-between time look like?
I mean, in-between time for me has been hunger, being broke, not being able to buy my daughter a 99-cent cheeseburger. I'm talking about $1. Looking in my pocket at McDonald's saying, well, I ain't got nothing but $1. We'll split this cheeseburger. I can't get you your own. Stuff like that. No money, no gas in the car, having to move out of my apartment, losing an apartment. That's the in-between times that I have dealt with. Now, I can go straight to the end and say, hey, I got the job. Now I'm working. Everything is cool. But there were times in my life that have got really dark and where I truly said, God, you don't care about me. I said, this, you cannot be a loving God for me to be dealing with this right here. But people don't want to say that. And I know this is a podcast for religious and non-religious, but I'm talking about me and what I've been through. I have gotten to places before where I say, God, you can't care about me. There is no way you got to be this loving God that I learned about, and I'm dealing with this right here. That's my in-between that I've had.
One of my most pronounced in-between times was in 2015 where I was out of work for 3 months. And I mean,